I am California of the past.
I am California of the past.
I
I am California of the past.
Hi, my name is Glenn Stewart. I was born here in San Bernardino in 1930 to Martha and Roy Stewart. I had three older sisters, Barbara, Marion, and Eleanor, who were also born here in San Bernardino. My father, Roy, was also born here in 1892. He was the youngest of six born to Richard and Alice Stewart. The only daughter in that group, Lottie Stewart, was a member of the first graduating class of San Bernardino High School in 1899. In the California room at the Feldheym Library, there's a large picture of that first class, and Lottie is the one on the far left looking sideways. My father graduated from San Bernardino High School in 1910 and went on to Pomona College, graduating in 1914. And my mother, Martha, graduated from Oberlin College in Ohio. At the Calvary Baptist Church at 19th and E, Martha and Roy became charter members of it. They were involved in many activities there. My grandfather, Richard Stewart, and great-grandfather, John Henry Stewart, moved to San Bernardino in 1850. In 1887, they built the Stewart Hotel, located at the southeast corner of 3rd and E Streets. It was an impressive looking structure. In 1892, the hotel burned and was rebuilt in 1893. And with some changes to the roof line, lasted until 1935, when it again burned. Some of the ground level structures that weren't burned remained until the 1970s and were used as a bank and other businesses. In the California room at the library, there are some pictures and more information about the Stewart Hotel. Things were quite different in the 1930s and 40s, and where we live on 40th Street was considered out in the country. San Bernardino actually had streetcars that ran from downtown north on D Street to Highland Avenue, east to Mountain View, and north to 34th Street. Occasionally, a train carrying water tankers from Arrowhead Springs used the same tracks. San Bernardino had what seemed like a small town atmosphere. There were stores like the Harris Company, which had the first escalator in the area. Other stores like JCPenney, Sears and Roebuck, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Cress's, and some small businesses were along 3rd Street, E Street, and on Highland Avenue. From 34th Street to the north, there were not too many houses. In 1936, I attended Wilson Kindergarten, and then Arrowhead Grade School, after which I went to Arrowview Junior High School. While at Arrowview and during one of the war years of World War II, myself and others were out on the outdoor basketball court when a military training plane got out of control and came very close to the school and then turned and crashed into a house on E Street. Also during the war years, there was a prisoner of war camp located south of Kendall Drive, north of Cajon Boulevard, and west of Shandon Hills, where Italian war prisoners were kept. Sometimes we would ride our bikes out past the camp. During the 1940s, I played a lot of baseball. One of our team names was the Butchers, with teammates from the north end of town. Went to San Bernardino High School in 1946, 47, graduated in 1948, and went to Valley College, 49 and 50, graduating in 50. During this time, some of the popular hangouts were drive-in eating places that had car hops. The main eateries were Snow's Drive-In at 11th and E, Ruby's Drive-In on Highland Avenue, east of Arrowhead Avenue, and Mimi's Drive-In at 40th Street in Sierra Way. After college, I was hired by Triangle Rock Products, a sand and gravel and ready-mix company. I was transferred to their plant in the Ridgecrest China Lake area in the early 1950s. While there, I met a pretty young lady named Glenna. Our names being similar, people kidded us about it. Later, we were married, and I was transferred back to San Bernardino. There, we bought our first house and subsequently raised 5 children: Randy, Lori, Marty, Julie, and Scott. Now, our children are all married with children of their own, and we have 14 wonderful grandchildren. We keep busy with hobbies, crafts, and we belong to the Paradise Valley Model A Ford Club, which is active with trips and other fun things. One of our granddaughters, Gloria, called one day asking me about how life was back in the 30s, as she needed the information for a school project. So I told her that at the time there were no television, no cell phones, no computers, no calculators, iPods, and all the other electronic gadgets that we have today. And I explained that the telephone we had was with a round dial that you turned, and sometimes when you went to use it, there was talking on it, and it was called a party line with several different people on the same line. Some of the entertainment was listening to radio programs and listening to music on a Victrola. Also during the late 30s, my parents replaced the ice box, which was an insulated metal and wood box in which blocks of ice were used to keep food cold, the ice being delivered in blocks of 25 or 50 pounds. It was replaced by a new electric refrigerator. Some of the prices in the 30s and 40s were gasoline was 20 cents a gallon, bread 10 cents a loaf, payphone calls, chewing gum and candy bars were a nickel. At that time I had a newspaper route riding my bike to deliver them, and also mowed neighbors' lawns for spending money. In closing, if anyone would like more information about the city and county of San Bernardino, come visit the California Room.